Hey, what's up and welcome. This is Life Meet Lightning and we talk about electrical things and other nonsense. In today's Learn Electronics for Beginners series, I'll be continuing the theme from the last video, working with equations. As I've stated previously, I'm not trying to be a math channel. My purpose is to focus on electronics, but it's difficult to separate the two sometimes. So my point for going over some of the math stuff now is to give you the very basic minimal math skills you need to begin learning electronics. Further down the road, there will definitely be some more math stuff to cover, but this should be my last math video for now until we get to that stuff later. In this video, I'm going to be discussing constants and variables, inverse and direct proportional relationships, and order of operations. Quick and easy, let's do it. Alright, you'll hear the terms variables and constants thrown around when working with equations. Variables are simply those containers we were talking about in the last video. Remember the ketchup bottle analogy? That was fun. Variables represent values that can vary, and are typically represented by letters like we used when talking about Ohm's law. Constants, on the other hand, are the numbers, letters, or other symbols such as pi that represent a specific unchanging value. So basically, constants are constant and variables vary. Pretty easy, right? I just wanted to clarify this terminology because you'll definitely hear these terms thrown around frequently through your learning electronics journey. The second thing I want to clarify is proportional relationships. Our Ohm's law equation represents a relationship between voltage, current, and resistance. Well, when we're talking about inverse or directly proportional relationships, we're talking about the relationship between two of our variables in an equation. In the last video, we designed a simple LED circuit and chose to insert a constant for our current value represented by the letter I, based on the requirements of our LED. When we did that, a specific relationship formed between our two other variables. If we increase the value of one variable, the other variable's value must increase or decrease in proportion to our first variable's change for the equation to remain true. If increasing the value of one variable causes the other variable to increase as well, we call this a directly proportional relationship. If increasing the value of one variable causes the other value to decrease, we call this an inversely proportional relationship. In our previous example with 15 milliamps, we would say that voltage and resistance are directly proportional since increasing one would cause the other to increase as well to keep the equation true. For an inversely proportional example, let's make our voltage constant by setting it to 5 volts. If we increase the resistance, this causes our current to decrease to keep our equation true. Sometimes it's easier to understand this if we actually insert some values. So if we set current to 1 amp, our resistance would have to be 5 ohms for the equation to remain true. Say we want to raise our current value to double what it was initially. We would have to cut our resistance in half proportionally for our equation to remain true. Easy! This is an extremely important concept and is fundamental to really understanding electricity. The last basic thing I want to cover is order of operations. If you have a Facebook account or a whatever account, you may have seen that simple math problem that circulated the internet for a while. There's nothing particularly hard about the math in this problem. The real test is whether you know the proper order in which to perform the math. We don't often come to places in electronics where we need to be particularly observant about the order in which we do things. Frankly, realistically, any reasonable human being wouldn't taunt you with such an ambiguous math problem. They would use parentheses to let you know specifically the intent of how this problem should be worked. The most notable place this order of operations issue comes up is when we get into programming, which is still technically electronics. Personally, when I'm programming, I use parentheses liberally so that there's never any confusion about the order I intend things to be done. But that's all nonsense for way down the road. In any case, order of operations is such a fundamental concept, I felt I should discuss it briefly. There's an easy acronym to remember the order in which to do things. PEMDAS. P-E-M-DAS. P-E-M-D-A-S. To break it down quickly, P stands for parentheses. We do everything in parentheses first when working a problem. E stands for exponents and also roots. We work all of those second. M and D stands for multiplication and division, and here's where the problem with this problem lies. It's generally been decided that multiplication and division take equal precedent, and so we've all agreed that we just work division or multiplication from left to right in the order that they appear. Well, obviously we haven't all agreed upon that. Hence, this problem nearly broke the internet once upon a time. Even different calculators give different results to this problem. Stupid programming. It's important we all agree on things, or math becomes chaos. Anyway, moving on. A and S stand for addition and subtraction. We work those left to right in the same way. Alright, tell me in the comments what the correct answer to this problem is. Also, I've said before that I have a plan. I thought maybe you might like to know what the plan is also. I made a topic outline a long time ago that I've been following for my Learn Electronics series, and I'll try to put something together and get it up on my website if you're curious about what's coming up. I'll leave a link in the description when I get it up. I'm almost done with my Getting Started section of my Learn Electronics for Beginners series, and I'll be getting into DC circuits next. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to stay in the loop. Smash the like button and tell a friend. I'll see you in the next one. This is Life Meet Lightning, bringing a little lightning into your life. It's PEMDAS. P-E-M-D-A-S. P-E-M-D-A-S. Nailed it.